Oh yeah, I got the posters and everything fixed, and next time make it a point to use real tape, not that low tack stuff I use for taping off the models. Well, hello glue troopers, and welcome back to the TARDIS. So I actually got a little bit of work done today between chores and a visit to the eye doctor. So if my eyes look all like something out of an alien horror movie, that's why. I did manage to pretty much finish off the Gato class submarine and got it dull coated, got the number 348, which is the USS Cusk, which is the one that test fired the loon. So I might add a few flourishes to it at a later date, but right now I'm considering it done for the moment. It's not the kind of kit that you hyper detail, because it's not a hyper detailed kit. It's a fun build. It's a nice, easy build and really easy to modify. And it's up there with the former Nautilus, now soon to be a sub sandwich for the big G. And speaking of him, there's a little story about today. So on my way to the eye doctor, I drop off the hobby shop, Hurricane Hobbies, and decide to, grab a little paint and see what they got in stock. And I talked to my wife about it, and she came up with this super cool idea that we're going to talk about at the live stream tomorrow night. So Saturday night, 7 p.m. East Coast time, 2400 Zulu, midnight Zulu. As normal, we'll see if we can't have a live stream. That's my plan, provided, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So one of the things we're going to talk about is dioramas. And she came up with this great idea, and hopefully I can get stuff together tomorrow to maybe try a shot at it. But she doesn't want me to cut up a good model unnecessarily. And I thought about buying either the 1 to 250 Polar Lights Godzilla or the 1 to, 350 or 400, the old Aurora kit that Atlantis puts out. And the smaller Atlantis kit's $32.99, and the bigger one usually runs about $42.99. Not worried about the money, it's just something to keep in mind. And when I went to the hobby shop to get the paint, I went and looked to see what they had, and they had a Rodan, and they had the Atlantis King Kong and the Atlantis Godzilla, the glow-in-dark one. And I almost bought it, but I was like, it's a little small for what I want to do, I think. And so I said, I'll hold off and talk to my wife about it, because she has great ideas. And she made, first off, she came with a great idea, and in addition to that, she made an excellent point. And we'll talk about these in more detail, but she said, instead of trying to chop models up and everything, or all these complex things, why not just take the box you want to put it in and fill it with some of that colored artist paint? Then you can set your things in it, and of course there's 100 ways to make the water on top of you using, some folks had sent me several YouTube videos and ideas way to do it. Some lay foil and put the white glue on it and then paint it. There's a lot of different ways, but everybody, and I'd already thought about making the pieces that slide into one another, kind of overlap, and you can use the waves of the water to cover it up. That way you don't have to, you can put them around the models without having to destroy the models, in case at some later date you want to take the model and put it on regular display like I have it now. And somebody also said, if you use a fine enough saw and cut it, you can still glue it back together without much notice, which is an option. And other people said, just cut out a hole where you can stick the thing through. So they're all good ideas. We'll talk more about that on the live stream. But my wife said, why not fill it with this artist sand, which is very fine, and you can pile it up and figure everything sitting just the way you want it, and then you can put your cover on top of it. It doesn't have the permanence of resin. At some point you want to take the models back, you take the top off, pour the sand out, and you still have the model. Just keep the parts you don't use. And to have a shallower tray, I was thinking I'll build a Godzilla without its legs, and that way I won't need as deep of a trough, and you just use the tail piece and torso piece, whatever. So this is something I'm probably going to play with when I get around to it. I almost bought that other Godzilla. Said, no, that was her great idea. Now, she made an additional thought, and the whole idea behind these dioramas is to be, intimidating. And I said, do you think, I asked her, the sub's technically 1 to 305 scale. Of course, it's now a fictitious submarine. It can be any scale you want, but should I use the bigger Godzilla that's a little oversized, or the one that's a little undersized? Without batting an eye, she says, and you guys, write this one down. Which Godzilla would best crush the hopes and dreams of all mankind? Yeah, we're going to be using the bigger Godzilla. You don't want that little dinky Godzilla that looks like he's struggling with the submarine. You know, you want the big Godzilla that will destroy all their dreams. I'm kind of like, ooh, woman, I married well. Boy, you better believe I go out of my way not to upset this lady. Anyway, so I'll probably see about getting the larger scale kit, and then I'll toy with ways to do it, because the whole idea is to make a diorama that is not as permanent as some, so that if you want to salvage the kit, you know, at a later date, you want to, you know, it's diorama's nice, but I want to get, you know, I want the whole thing back, you know, whatever. That's kind of the idea, is to make it a less permanent. All you guys had some great ideas, and we're going to talk about them in detail. Also, now that I've got the subs finished, only the Sweet Pea, the little race plane, is the only thing left to paint, and that's actually pretty low priority. So I am finally got this Jolly Roger, which I have started on, but only done a few parts on. It is on the table, and you know, guys, I usually open several kits at a time, so these two Lambos, the Jota and the Mura, are going to be open at the same time as the 31, I don't know if it's Yoda or Jota, Lamborghini Jota or Lamborghini Yoda, but also the 31 Cadillac, the classic Johan kit, because I really want to get started on that, because I've never built a Johan kit and I've heard great things about them, and I'm looking forward to having my first Johan experience. Maybe I can become a Joe fan. So that's what I have for tonight. You know, the sub really looks a lot better now with the flat paints on it. It really, that gloss paint did put a nice thick heavy coat on it, but I just had to knock that gloss off of it. I mean, it just did not look right. So anyway, that's where we're at for tonight, guys. Again, live stream tomorrow night. After that, not sure how much content will be coming out after the holidays. It'll be kind of hit and miss. The Karmer build, really need to have this stuff by January 25. Got a lot of great entries so far. And that's where we're at, guys. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. And as always, model on.